Yep, we're good. Anybody?
Hi, Coach. Playing Miami. What can you tell us about? I know you haven't played them yet this year, but
They're a very good shooting team, and they're very, very physical. One of the top offensive rebounding teams in our league. But the thing that certainly that catches your attention is the ability to shoot the three, and they've got about 3 or 4 guys that can do it very effectively.
also a chance to, the middle of the ACC now is kind of, you guys are kind of in a pretty competitive pack. Everybody's within the same record. Kind of a chance to start distancing yourself a little bit with Miami and Clemson.
Yeah, we're in some games now that, like you said, we're right in the middle of the pack, and if you can string a couple together like we did earlier, I think you can start to separate yourself to the upper division.
Guess you'll have Ryan back.
Yes, that's the plan. He should be back. Yeah.
Now Miami likes to go inside, which has been an issue the past 2 games for y'all. What can you do to try to?
Well, more than go inside, they shoot a lot of threes. Though.
Okay.
I mean, with Grant, Scott, Thomas, and Adams, all 4 of those guys going. And then the kid, Rion Brown, who's actually Tico Brown's son.
Oh, okay.
And Reggie Johnson is a tremendous presence now. They get a lot of their attempts on offensive rebounding, Gamble and Johnson. Now, late games, they'll throw it inside to Johnson. But for the most part, I mean, they usually open up games by shooting a lot of threes. And when they're making them, they can get out on you. They can spurt on you.
Well, what does Johnson bring? Who is he similar
strong.
to?
He's big, strong kid. Probably like the kid Rick Jackson, who we saw early in the year at Syracuse. 6'10", he goes about 300 pounds. He's
at the tackle.
He's a brute. He's a big, strong kid. Against Carolina, he got off to a great start. They stopped hitting threes, and Carolina's able to get back in the game and steal one down there. But when he's around the rim, I mean, he's getting every rebound. It seems like.
Okay. He's a kid that really started to come into his own in the ACC tournament.
Yeah.
It seemed like.
Yeah, he did. He got a lot of confidence from that. He's a guy that it's interesting as the game goes on, they start to look for him more and more. But he's not a guy that puts his head down. If he doesn't get the ball, people take a couple deep threes. You like to see that quality in a big guy that he doesn't cry for the ball. He's just going to go get it off the glass.
I know you were saying yesterday on the teleconference about Daniel kind of being a little bit down the way that you played the other night.
Yeah.
How do you get him ready to face a guy, who's so physical?
Well, I think he's going to get himself ready. I mean, the thing I told him, I said the reason why you're probably disappointed is because you're better than that. You can play better than the way you played the other night, and he agreed with that. So I expect him to have a great practice today and be ready to go.
With a player like that on defense, do you decide whether you play behind him or in front of him, depending on whether the center's a leaper or not?
In terms of Johnson or?
Yeah, Johnson is.
Well, I think it's going to depend on the sets they're running. They run some different type of sets, and we got different ways how we're going to guard him. So I'm not sure with a guy like that because he's just so big. You try to play in front of him, might force you up the lane, get easy layups. You play behind him, he'll bury you under the rim and get easy layups. So I think a lot of it's going to come down to the set that they run. And it's hard to give a lot of help off them because if they're hitting their threes, they're 41% from the 3-point line at home, 31 on the road. So we're playing them down there unless they change the building. So.
And how are y'all going to handle the short turnaround with Clemson on Saturday? Do y'all even practice on Friday?
We'll practice Friday. Maybe not very hard, but it's a quirk of the schedule, so we just got to deal with it.
Is this kind of matchup you prefer, Coach? I mean, your guards have been getting a lot of steals. I mean, I know we mentioned last week you're 4th in the nation. They keep doing a lot of perimeter steals. Is this the kind of game kind of matchup you'd rather?
Well, our guards are going to have to be strong. I mean, they're going to have to really be strong. Obviously, making it tough for their guards to get going. Again, we talked about the perimeter shooting, but also we got to take care of the basketball because they're the type of team that can turn a steal into a three or a turnover into a three.
And I mean, they're better than their record indicates. They're at 11 points.
I would say so.
Being, I think, undefeated in the ACC or something.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, they've been in every single ball game. So, but yeah, I mean, I think we all pretty much say that from time to time as coaches.
I know you were on 790 earlier today, and he was asking something about being a Sweet 16 team.
No, he said. I think what he said was, unless you make it to Sweet 16, it's not a successful season.
I didn't really understand exactly your comment.
Well, I think that's seems like a lot of the media. And I don't agree with that. No.
Okay, that's what I was.
No, I don't agree with that. But I think a lot of people now, that's how they judge you. If you make it to the Sweet 16, my point was that it shows you how far perception can carry you. Because in football, there are about 120 Division I teams, and 35 of them end your season with confetti being dropped and coaches being doused with Gatorade, and everybody feels great about themselves. And, basketball coaches, what I was saying is, we all look and say, football guys got it figured out. I remember Jay Wright texting me after the season over last year. They made it to the second round. He's like, Sets unbelievable. You see where we've come in our game now. If you don't make it to the Sweet 16, you've had a bad year. So that's what we were talking about.
And that's 16 out of 345. 340, yeah.
That's
But that's where it is. I mean, seriously, it may not be 100%, but you know, you talk to different people about it, and that's the reality of it now for coaches, basketball coaches. If you don't make the Sweet 16, you have a bad year.
I mean,